Today I want to talk about behaviour, booby traps, and how to clear them. So, you got something you want to do? What the hell? Let's call it a goal. Why is it so difficult to get into action? Look at it this way. You're already in the habit of not doing it. It's not like you're a blank slate. You've established a pattern in the habitual pathway of your brain, the nigrostriatal pathway, and that means the action's largely automatic. When you brush your teeth, you don't have to think about which teeth you're going to clean next, right? It's unconscious. Driving, shopping, eating, arguing, almost everything we do, 90% unconscious. In order to change that pattern, you're going to need to take conscious action. I'm going to tell you how to do that without hurting your brain. But first, what does science say are the booby traps? It says you have two problems, getting started and getting derailed. Let's start with getting started. Here are the booby traps. Number one, forgetting. Doing something new requires energy, and your brain is interested in conserving energy, not expending it. Unless there's an immediate benefit for you in doing X, your brain is very happy to forget about doing X. It's not an accident. It's a strategy of your brain that needs to be countered. Number two is squandering. This is the world of missed opportunities. If you're in the habit of exercising, the sun breaking through the clouds is an opportunity to go for a run. If you're not in the habit, it's just a change in the weather. I've finished a glass of wine is an opportunity to call it quits for the night. But to others, it's an opportunity to open a new bottle. It's going to take conscious effort to change the way you react to cues. Number three, shiny. You're doom scrolling on social media, thinking, it's time I started my study. And suddenly, what happens to study? Out the window. Your brain prefers shiny new things. But look, now imagine you get started. Your next challenge is derailment. Still got the problem of distractions, but you also got to watch out for roller coasting. Yesterday seemed like a great idea to get fit. Today, meh. How are you going to cope with those fluctuations? Next trap, slippage. You slip back into the old habit. Someone has a party, you're having a drink. Suddenly, there's a cigarette in your hand because that's the old habit, and just slip into it like a warm bath. Here's the last major trap, overwhelm. Any negative thought pattern can take you out. That's because mood regulation takes priority over commitments. If you get into a bad mood, you'll do whatever you normally do to get out of that state. Everything else takes a back seat. Explains a lot, right? So here's the summary on booby traps. For getting started, forgetting, squandering, shiny, and for derailment, roller coasting, slippage, overwhelm. Now we know what we're up against. Firstly, our best intervention is to engage the emotional parts of our brain, specifically the survival circuitry, in order to interrupt our nice, comfortable, automatic behaviours. And we do that by risking money. That's the stake something system. It's highly effective at getting you started, also good at keeping you going. And I've spoken about that in other videos. The structure is a system, a routine, or a deliberate change in your environment that supports your behaviour change. A course, a reminder, a schedule, a coach, anything that's external to your body and mind. And the more specific, the better, because now you're creating a richer context of different sensory and image-based neural systems. That improves the encoding and retrieval in your brain, stops you forgetting. Now you can get that structure through Stake Something or in different forms in lots of different places. Third tactic, planning. I know this sounds as boring as structure, but there's evidence that done right, This will level up your reliability. Let's compare two people with the same goal of learning the piano. Jack has a heap of uncertainty. Should I buy a piano? How will I find the right teacher? What if I don't practice enough? He's got a lot of cognitive load that's likely to get in the way of him starting. Jill, on the other hand, is 6 months down the track. Her plan is this: if it's 7 o'clock, practice the piano. If it's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, go to the piano lesson. She's got way less cognitive load, and she's shifted from the normal dopamine pathways to the habitual pathway. So it's become automatic, less stressful. To some extent, you can create automatic in advance. I call this if-then planning. You plan how you'll react in future situations. If someone offers me a cigarette, I'll say blah. When I order food, I'll do X. When I can't go to the gym, I'll do push-ups at home. fMRI scans show that when you do that, you activate the brain's automatic behavior control systems. You're shifting the burden of behavior regulation from internal processes to external environmental triggers, and that lessens the cognitive load. If you work with us, we'll help you design your if-thens and modify them as you progress towards your goal. Not something we invented, by the way. The technical term is implementation intentions, invented by Dr. Peter Gollwitzer of NYU. And a word about overwhelm. You're probably going to fail at some point, maybe even in the first week. There's nothing wrong. Be a grown-up about it. If you can handle the occasional failure, you'll ultimately succeed. Of course, after you accept a failure, you'll have to be prepared to forgive yourself. Please do like or subscribe to help us spread the word about behavior science. Go to stakesomething.com to set up your project. Takes a couple of minutes, or contact us about seminars and coaching.